The Piers Morgan debate with Nick Fuentes exemplified the dynamics of the ideological struggle between the generations better than anything else has to date. Morgan pressed Nick in an attempt to get him to walk back all his supposedly heretical comments, but was bewildered by Nick's complete apathy toward the accusations. Fuentes happily declared himself to be a racist.
I mean, it couldn't be clearer, really, unless you want to say that's another of your jokes, but you're basically saying, yeah, I'm a racist, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
He then announced that women should not have political power.
So you give women equal rights?
No.
Great.
No.
And even defended joking about the Holocaust.
I find it extraordinary that you would think the Holocaust could ever be something that we could joke about.
Why, too soon?
Piers was unequipped for Nick's responses. Whether Piers is secretly some conniving mastermind doesn't matter. He embodies the ideological mindset trapped under the weight of mythology. Boomers can't even imagine the possibility of somebody unashamedly calling themselves a racist, misogynist, or being complimentary to Hitler in any context. Given the unbelievable ideological disparity, I would suspect that there isn't even one blue-pilled boomer who was persuaded by Fuentes' performance and arguments at all. Just as I highly doubt a single red-pilled Zoomer thought Piers did anything other than embarrass himself. These perspectives have become irreconcilable. Boomers are just entirely incapable of viewing these topics objectively. But the Zoomers have now effectively learned how to detach themselves from our ingrained culture. We have an ability to divorce the grave, serious nature of topics from this histrionic response. We can still respond to things with serious action, but it doesn't require this acting component to ensure everyone knows just how much we disapprove. This clip here is a great example of that ability.
I'm begging you.
I'm going to give you one chance.
What?
That one chance
Yeah.
is to play a game of Fortnite. If you get a victory royale, I won't call the police. If you lose, I'm going to call the police.
I don't know how to play the...
You're going to have to learn on the
I
spot.
am from...
Sit down, bro. We've got Fortnite loaded right here. Alright, let's pick up some... Alright, turn around, bro, wait. Okay.
Wait.
No, look, the mouse, look. Oh!
No,
Oh, bruv! No! That's like the universe saying. That is like the universe saying, oh, bro.
I don't know how to
Bro.
play. I'm sorry.
Alright, I'm gonna have to call the police. You lost. I'm sorry, man.
Somebody obsessed with the inherent gravity of these topics would never be able to stomach young men treating pedophilia in this nonchalant way. But that isn't really what's happening. These men are tracking down predators. They obviously understand the severity of the action, but they're able to also understand that we don't need to be enchanted by a spell. We can make a joke about it and also take it seriously. Those don't actually contradict each other in the way you would intuit. Because of videos like this, people generally consider Zoomers to be nihilists, but that is actually the opposite of the truth. We deeply care about things, just not something stupid like being called a racist. In our view, to care about the label of racist or misogynist while failing to do the things necessary to avoid terrible outcomes is actually evil. How many rapes has Piers Morgan's ideology cost? How much devastation and evil has been done all in the name of exotic restaurants being available? We have watched the boomers continually showcase dramatic Facebook posts condemning something, yet taken no action to truly correct it. In fact, it's now clear that Gen Z cares to a far higher degree than the boomers. We actually care so much about the important things that it allows us to shed the superficiality of all these retarded labels. We care about action and outcomes, not the labels that come with an uncomfortable opinion. We're called racist, while immigrants literally flood Western countries and rape white children. We find that far more offensive than any word. Whatever it takes to stop that, we will do it. And we're also just tired of this insane shaming we get put through. Piers tried to shame Nick by doing one of the most absurd things of all time with his playing of the recorded message by Danny Finkelstein.
When he heard I was interviewing you, he's a Times journalist in the UK, very eminent journalist here, and author, who wrote a book about his own family's experiences at the hands of Hitler and Stalin, because he also told Tucker Carlson that you admire Stalin. But let's just take what Danny said here.
Hi Piers, it's Danny Finkelstein here. As you're interviewing Nick Fuentes, you might try suggesting to him that he reads my book, Hitler, Stalin, Mum and Dad. It's called Two Roads Home in the United States. Since he says he's on Team Hitler, you might like to ask him about the fact that Hitler arrested my mum, tried to starve my mum to death, did starve my grandmother to death, sent my great aunt to the gas chamber, my great uncle, my cousin.
Nick looked annoyed and almost offended that Piers would play this nonsense. But Morgan can't even imagine somebody refusing to bow to the magic spell of the Holocaust. Piers is bewildered as Nick exposes how silly he sounds when he shouts that Adolf Hitler is a monster.
Has to say about Adolf Hitler. Now, what do you mean by Hitler is very fucking cool? Because I think he's very fucking a monster.
Okay. And that's a clip. I think he's very fucking a monster. Do you hear yourself?
Yeah, I
mean,
do.
can we all grow up?
I do.
Can we all grow
He
up?
murdered
That
12
is just
million
childish.
people. He murdered 12 million
Okay.
people. What is very fucking cool about that? Tell me.
The edits, it's just cool. The uniforms, the parades, it's cool as a guy. You look at World War II and it's fascinating and it's interesting and it's compelling and it's cool.
On this rare occasion, the youth sounded far more mature than the elder. The absurdity of continually having to perform this cleansing ritual is getting tiresome, and we all feel this way. This happened in another century on another continent to a group we are not a part of. We know how to look at historical events and draw conclusions that aren't completely hysterical. But Piers also showcased just how utterly fake the elderly perception of morality actually is. Even those who participate in a promiscuous lifestyle are rarely outwardly proud of it. After the age of 25, it gets a little pathetic, and most people begin to understand why some things have been historically fenced off.
It's been amended
Oh
27
my
times.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my, this is not rigorous intellectually. This is very,
Just
this is
a statement of
tabloid
fact.
theology. Okay. But it's fine. Where were we? We're talking about Trump and
Well,
somehow we got
on
into
Trump,
you're
look,
white
on
knighting for
on-
women's rights.
On Trump, well, I think women should have the same rights as you and I. You don't. That's fine.
Put on the pink hat, bro. Put on the pink hat. We're waiting.
What's the pink hat for?
For the march, for the women's march? Are we going to see you at the women's march protesting for women's rights and all that?
I think women should have equal rights to men. Period.
You carry tampons in case your female friends get a period or something? Like, it's crazy. The
I'd
white
have no
knighting
problem.
is
I'd have no problem
diabolical.
giving a female friend a tampon. Would you? Have you ever? I don't suppose you've ever seen a tampon, have you?
Gross. Absolutely not.
You
Get
think,
that away
you think
from me.
tampons are gross?
Yeah, they're
Really?
filled with period blood. Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Wow. Have
Are
ever
you
seen-
into that? You like that? You,
Have you ever
got
seen
a lot
it?
of tampons?
I don't think you've ever seen it, have you?
I've seen them. I've
Oh,
seen
you
them
have?
before.
You've been that close
Yeah.
to a woman? Really?
No, I've seen them. Look, I
Oh, you've seen
I
videos?
used to live with
I
women,
bet
so
you've
I've seen them around the
I
house.
bet you've seen videos, haven't you?
What? What are we doing here, Piers?
Piers knows that Nick is celibate for religious reasons, but he still tries to shame him for being a virgin. It's like if a neighborhood dad started grilling a 17-year-old for not drinking enough alcohol. It's led all of us to ask, what exactly do these people even believe? It sure seems like everything they do only serves themselves in the material world. And Zoomers are honestly repulsed by this. We would like to see our elders make moral progress throughout their lives, not still praising the behaviors of an impulsive young man. There's nothing more disgusting than watching an old man act like a teenager. These people are supposed to overcome this type of behavior, not foster it into old age. Because of Piers' deep liberalism, he can't even imagine a world where women were not championed as equal or even magically better than men. So Nick's comment about thinking women shouldn't be able to vote really set him off. He immediately reverts to the instinct to defend the inherent equality of everyone. He distinguishes the sexes, but can't understand how that may have implications beyond the cosmetic. Piers also happens to be a literal cuck, I guess, which makes this all quite a bit funnier. Fundamentally, it looks like boomers will just never understand Zoomers. That's fine. We don't need to convince them. We just need to break these spells in order for the younger generations to not be subject to the psychological control all this propaganda creates. The true irony of all this is that Gen Z cares far more about nearly everything than the boomers. We care enough to sacrifice the comfort of virtue signaling and applause-worthy platitudes for actual outcomes which will improve the lives of our people. We care enough to not care about the stupid labels. I want to also announce that I just signed a publishing deal with Arctos earlier this week, so I'm going to be turning my Gen Z video into a full book, which will be published by Arctos. I think I can really tell this story right, and I'm about halfway done already. I'm very swept up in it, so my video output may decrease in length and quantity until I finish the first draft. I'll also be losing my anonymity with the publishing of the book too, and we're shooting for an April release. I think it's going to be pretty good. Also, I just wrapped an interview with Benjamin Boyce that should be out soon. Be sure to check that out, and I'll try and repost on this channel as well.